Welcome to another episode of Cover Art Breakdown, where I'll be reacting to different designs from around the web. Without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so for the first cover I want to review, it has to be Wiz Khalifa's Kush and Orange Juice 2. And this album, first of all, is nostalgic to me because this is around the time, we were all Taylor Gang. We're all Taylor Gang, and if you know what that means, you know what that means. I was wearing camo shorts and, Chuck Taylors, and amongst other things, you feel me? So, to him to do a follow-up to such an original classic album, to Kush and Orange Juice 1, is a big feat. The album was fire. I think people were going to listen to it regardless. Not going to lie, Kush and Orange Juice, the original album, that album cover was so iconic. Bruh, and it was based off an iconic album, so the fact that they went to a whole nother direction instead of just staying in that classic lane is crazy. I think part of the reason why too is because the image was copyrighted, so even when he uploaded it to Apple Music, the Kush and Orange Juice, the first one, that album cover is looking different, and literally it just says Kush and Orange Juice on it. It's just nothing else, but they could have went so many ways with this. I get what they're trying to do, weed all around the world. He was the one that kind of pioneered weed being all acceptable. Him, Snoop, Stunna, Autumn. So the fact that he is one of the pioneers, it makes sense that he would want to do an album cover with hella marijuana just all over the globe. It looks very AI because I don't know how you would do this without AI, and it just literally looks like they just stuck Wiz Khalifa at the top and Kush and Orange Juice 2. That is kind of not low-key disappointing. I just wish he would have just went and did a photo shoot for this album. This album is so iconic that just falling off on the creative is just kind of it's so sad because you could have went so many ways, with the ideas, with the album cover, paired with the merch, paired with the Kush and Orange Juice, type of breakfast, type of bundle. You could have done so many things. It's so many things that you could have did with the Kush and Orange Juice to cover and all of the things that went along with it. So that's it for Kush and Orange Juice 2. I was kind of disappointed. I'm not going to rate these this time around. I'm just going to say whether I liked it or I didn't like it. I didn't like this one, but nonetheless, he's an established artist, so it really doesn't matter, but not something that with a random person is gonna be oh yeah, I should click that. Who's Wiz Khalifa? For the young people, but I'm guessing this was geared towards the older people. And then another thing, I do not know how Matt, if y'all follow Cover Art Matters on Instagram or TikTok, my homeboy Matt, we also did an interview, so go check that out. But Matt finds the designer, the creative director, the breakdown process, and I just don't know where he goes to even find this stuff. Most of the time when I do some stuff, I just go on his page and then just kind of piggyback off of that. But me, I'm yo, I looked, I said cover art designer, I googled it, I used chat, I was on Instagram, and a lot of people just don't tag their designers, and then you cannot find the designers. I'll go on Apple Music or I'll go on Spotify and look who made the cover. There's no credits for the cover. I went on Genius. It was a list of credits for a bunch of stuff. Not the designer though. So, let's just give us some love. I feel we should at least get a credit, bro. Because the cover art is what you're seeing when you're looking for the song or you're looking for the name of the song. The cover art is what's taking up your phone. You feel me? All that. So, can we get a little love? That's all I'd be saying. So, let's move on to the next one. I actually haven't heard any of her music, but this cover made me want to listen to maybe a song or two, especially since I found it on SoundCloud. It made me be oh, this looks real professional looking. It's very clean. The colors align and some sort of brand management. The pinks with the peaches and the oranges and the beiges. They kind of all just mesh well together. The only problem I would say is the Think Might and the Honey Baby in that area kind of looks, I don't know, congested. It just looks it's a lot going down in that corner when there's a lot of empty space on the left. It just seems very, very right heavy and just with that empty space. So I would have just probably turned the text and then probably had Think I Might coming down the side and then Honey Baby nice and clear on the bottom, or Think I Might in the cursive and then Honey Baby in the in the slab serif font. Only because I feel like since you're a newer artist, the first time people see you or see your name or just come across you, I should be able to see what your name is quickly and the name of the song very quickly. This I kind of had to search, but that can also help or hurt the process too, because sometimes when you have to look a little bit deeper at a cover art, you might, spend some more time rather than just glancing like, oh, who the hell is that, and then scrolling. You know what I'm saying? So maybe this time they did it on purpose. You never know. But I would say this cover is mediocre. It's cool. It's not like jumping for joy or anything like that. So it's pretty cool. I think it's not that bad or whatever. This cover is by The Artist, and the song name is called Ghost. I really, really, really like this cover. I feel like it adds all the elements of like a good cover into it. It's symmetrical on both sides. It speaks to the song talking about ghosts. So I'm thinking she's talking about an ex or a previous relationship of some sort. I think I just get that from the cover itself. You got the girl in the background. She probably was there during the photo shoot, and then they in Photoshop they went and added that ghostly effect to it. I really, really like that, and I think that's so fire. You have that dark rampant lighting coming from the top to give it like that dark aesthetic on the bottom with the shadows all falling underneath the face. So it's really, really clean. I like the photo itself. I like the colors, the blacks and the browns. It just calm. When I seen this, I was like, oh, automatically, yes, gotta click it. And the music video is pretty fire too. So yeah, it is pretty dope, man. Can't lie. I think this is a fairly newer artist too. I haven't seen too much about them, so I don't know too much about them, but I just know the cover art was fire. Yeah. And like I said, all you have to do is like add like a nice little Gaussian blur, motion blur back there with some sort of thing. But this all started from the photo shoot. So if you didn't have something good to start the photo shoot off with, then it's going to be hard to come up with this kind of aesthetic or this kind of idea. For the next cover, let's go with Cut the Lights by Armani White. Now, it's said that he creatively directed this cover by himself. So I'm going to just take it as that. Shout out to Google. Shout out to Google on that, because we don't know for sure. But I know this cover is tough. Now, I like covers like this because it uses space very, very well. He stuck to that blue type of tone. He didn't have to. It could have been any color and it would have worked. But I think the blue just really brings it out. I even like the typography treatment that he did on it. It's obviously not white. It's some sort of off-white grayish color, and it looks like it's some sort of ink bleed effect on there as well. I like that. And then I like just the cross type squares that he has, and they kind of all work together. So it looks like it's just certain pieces from each. So like that left square looks like the same image as the top square. It just, he offsetted it a little bit, and then it looked like it was from the same photo shoot. When you look at that, the right one, when he's moving his hair like that was another set of photos. And then he got another set of photos with him holding like the blanket or drapery over his head. And then he also has the hue bar at the top of that for all the colors that match this theme. And I just think it's a cool cover, man. It just made me want to click on it. And made me want to just listen to the song, try to find out what the song's about. Really, like, it's fire, bro. Like, and if he really did this himself, that'd be dope. I don't know if he designed it himself or he just creatively directed it himself. That's up for debate, but I think overall it looks cool. I can't really say if it matches his aesthetic or not, if he's going in a new lane for his aesthetic or not. He's a fairly new artist, so I think he's still starting to find his style. But I have seen this layout in this format before on different covers, so I think this is pretty cool though. Alright, so this is Rock Baby, and this is called More Spill. Now, I really like this cover art. Normally, I try to stay away from like drug and violent type of music and kind of like themes within anything. I try to do metaphors for anything that is drug or violence related, because everything I feel like that's like that, you can make a metaphor for life and kind of get the same idea across or the same message across without necessarily showing the drugs or showing violence. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it works, but sometimes, it is what it is. But either way, More Spill by Rock Baby. This cover is hard, and I want you to kind of focus in on that theme too. I think it would have been cool if it was baby purple, maybe because it's like that purple drink, maybe red. I don't know what color drinks be. I heard it was purple. That's what they said. Or Easter pink. You know what I'm saying? So maybe something like that. But like I guess green fitted her aesthetic and what she was trying to go for. I really like this cover because it's like a mix between photo manipulation, photo concepting, and concept. Like it's not, it looks like it's not a cover that they just kind of threw together. It looks like it went to some idea and some detail behind this for sure. As you can see with that cup pouring the water, I think that it is fire, bro. Like she's like falling out the cup. It's giving like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but like falling down. It's like you're engulfed into the lean or whatever the drink. You're engulfed into the drink, man, by it being more spill. And since the drink is like spilling over and she's coming out of that spill, I think that's just tough. Like I don't really think it's too crazy to say nothing about this. I like the textures that they use to overlay it too. It's not just straight up. It is some sort of noise, grainy texture in there. The highlights on there are really good. The only negative thing I could say is I don't like the Rock Baby font. I think with the more spill being more or less a drippy type of font, you could have went something like sans serif for Rock Baby, or you could have just made it more spill Rock Baby and then changed the colors. You feel me? So it could have been maybe like a circle or something like that, and then Rock Baby on one side and then more spill on the other side, and kind of conformed it to make it like a dripping texture logo photo treatment. That's what I'm thinking when I saw that, for real, because I feel like the main part is that spilling of the drink. That other text in the corner is low-key taking away from it. So I would have just kind of minimalized that, or like I said, try to make some sort of font treatment. Next up is Finesse Two Times, whatever. You feel me? So this cover is kind of like one of those regular covers. I think we've seen this style before, using like casinos and using slot machines, using arcades as an interface for a cover art is pretty dope. What stood out to me was the use of the emojis, the gun, the money, and the fist. I want to know what this means. Would they beat you up about the money or die? I don't know. See what I'm saying? Like I feel like even they could have went even deeper with what the emojis are on here. So the emojis could have meant something different, and it could have spelled what it is. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. They could have went deep like that, since the song is called Whatever. It could have been whatever. So I think that's the only thing I just didn't like about that. But overall, I think it's a pretty simple cover. Obviously, Finesse Two Times is more of like a trap artist, so he's not putting a lot of energy into his art direction or creative direction in any way, shape, or form. But I really like this. I'm not gonna lie. It made me want to click on the song just to listen, see what's going on. Like I said, what kind of drew me was the 3D elements of the emoji for real. But that's it. And if you guys would probably want a tutorial of how to do like arcade or like casino style covers like this, let me know. Drop a comment down below. But yeah, this is a pretty decent cover. Probably could have done better, but if it's just a free song on SoundCloud or just a throwaway, you don't need to spend that much time on it, right? For the final cover is gonna be Givion's 20s. Now, still don't know who made this cover either. But I just really like this cover, man. I really like black covers. If you can't tell by now, most of my designs start off with some sort of black base. I don't know, when you work from a white base, sometimes it's just bright and bubbly and happy and clean sometimes, and I'm more of dark, gritty, grungy, true crime. Like that's my aesthetic. So when I seen this, I was like, yo, I love it, because it kind of mixed what the artist did in the Ghost cover with this. So the girl is in motion, and Giveon, he's still, obviously, but I love even the table set that they used. Obviously this was a photo shoot, so you had to go shoot the photo shoot, and that was the cover. I went to go shoot the cover. That's what they used to have to do back in the day. It wasn't a lot of animations or drawings or manipulating of too much stuff. It was mostly like, let's go shoot the cover. So I like when people go shoot covers and give their albums or their songs, anything. I love when they do that, to give their album like their own world, like really bring me into your world. You feel me? I talk about the Weeknd's album covers a lot. When his early stages, they all had an aesthetic, they all flowed. You heard me mention it before. Kanye's covers had an aesthetic, had a flow, even though it was that the bear was a symbol for him for the whole album. So when you seen that bear, you thought of Kanye. You feel me? So I love when artists and creators give themselves something of some sort of symbolism to represent. Either way, this cover's dope. I love the black aesthetic. It has that black, blue, orange, teal to it, with the skin colors really popping off, but nothing is too extra saturated. I feel like they added a little bit of offset onto this as well. I want to know the significance of how many candles are on the table. Why is there only, it looks like, one cup of champagne? Is she not invited? Is she a ghost? I don't know. But for me, listening to this album is obviously about some sort of heartbreak. And I'm thinking the heartbreak in your 20s and loving in your 20s and what that could entail. So I like this joint. I think it's pretty dope overall. Fire cover. I hope you guys enjoyed that. This is kind of like I'm trying a bunch of new styles to see which ones are gonna hit for you guys and resonate the best. I want to do a lot more like cover art breakdowns, just putting out what's out there for cover arts and what I like about them, what I don't like about them. You can take my opinion or you cannot. I just want to get the conversation started. So leave your opinions about some of these covers. What was your favorite cover? What was your least favorite cover? I would definitely want to know. I like to talk in the comments. I like to not argue, but I like to just debate, like go back and forth and have good conversations about art. So if you haven't already, hop into the Only Dope You Creators Club. Also, I'm also on Discord, so Only Dope Creators, hop in. So join us, bruh. In the meantime, in between time, I'm Ollie Dope, and I'm checking out. Yes, sir.